Hello, I'm author Louis Paul DeGredo. In this video we're going to talk about my second book, The Roundhouse, which is the first in the Questors Adventures, and my fourth book, The Questors Adventures, which is a dual book. It contains The Roundhouse and the next in the Questors Adventures, The Moaning Walls. Now if you're going to go out and buy these books, which are juvenile fiction, you're going to want to get the Questors Adventures because it has an updated version of The Roundhouse with extra scenes to make it tie into the series, and an extended ending to The Roundhouse that makes it tie into The Moaning Walls, which is the second in the Questors Adventures. About the Questors Adventures. What do you call a group of boys who set out to explore the unknown? They called themselves the Questors. What happens when 4 boys dare to visit a haunted house? Excitement, adventure, and mayhem. Every neighborhood has a story of a haunted house. 2 brothers ages 10 and 13 and their best friends succumb to curiosity when they hear about a haunted house in their neighborhood and decide to investigate. Before visiting the house, they must overcome many obstacles, such as keeping their plans a secret, figuring out what to wear, and how to get around a large black dog named Mutt that lies in their path. Summoning their courage and learning lessons about trust, the boys bond together in their quest that culminates in a visit to the house. Jittery nerves and active imaginations keep the boys on their toes as they enter the house and face mortal danger when confronted with the unknown. Purposely designed to be a short series, children will find this exciting and easy to read. The title The Roundhouse comes from my childhood, and we actually did have a haunted house in our neighborhood, and it was referred to as the Roundhouse. When I designed the cover, I asked them to put young boys going into this haunted house, and I gave a description. It had rounded window sills and rounded structure. In the second version of the cover, they actually got all 4 boys, which are myself, my best friend, and our 2 brothers, and my brother's friend, and they did a little bit better job with the house here being rounded, and that it was a 2-story house. So I always like this cover. On the first cover too, one of the boys surprisingly looks a lot like this one over here, looks a lot like me when I was that age. And people often ask me, is that a picture of you? And I said, no, that's just the way the artist drew it up. What has inspired it? The Roundhouse was originally a story for a college class, English college class, and it was very short, but it was supposed to be based on some real events, so I reached back into my memory of some of the stuff that happened in my childhood. What also inspired it was my interest in the supernatural. One of the things I talked about, if you go back and watch the video on why I started writing, a lot of my first storytelling was ghost stories in the backyard, around the campfire, or sometimes even in the treehouse. In the Roundhouse or the Questors Adventures, our treehouse, which really did exist and was very prominent in our childhood, was also prominent in the Questors Adventures. It was a place we can meet away from the parents, away from the noise of society, and it was kind of our space. The interest in the supernatural also propelled me to write my other stories, The 13th Month, which we'll talk about in additional videos. But that's the introduction to the Roundhouse.